What's up? Welcome back. It's your boy Kyle Russ. Today I want to talk to you about setting and achieving performance goals. Now, with a lot of stuff that I teach with surfing, it's all about surfing longer, catching more waves, and that's stuff that is measurable, but not really. It's hard to nail down. Because like, if you are struggling and you're down here and you're really suffering in the water and you start doing the right things, you can see progress. So you know you're doing better, but it's not really a time-based outcome, or it's not really a hard, measurable, tangible thing. It's sort of intangible, right? Because the condition is always changing. And so what I'm doing in my own life, I'm doing because I've actually had a lot of struggles lately. So for me, I'm kind of on a downslope with my health and fitness right now, because in the past couple of months, I've had a bunch of trips and I've been traveling to find waves, but the swells didn't pan out. And another huge thing with me, whenever I travel, I always find I struggle a lot with what I eat, because to me, traveling and trying new foods and eating and like being on vacation is something that is a weakness of mine, and I really struggle in that regard. So I've really struggled with my nutrition in the last 2 months. And also I spent a lot of time working on my new breath training course that I just released. So I was spending tons of time. I was sacrificing my workouts, I was sacrificing my nutrition, and I've really got myself into a big rut here. So in order to shake myself out of it, I wanted to really kind of change up the mainframe in my own life and do something I've never done. So I've signed up for a marathon, first time ever. I've never been a runner. I hate running. And that's part of the reason I want to do it. So I want to do something to really test my own pain tolerance, and also just to get myself out to do something that I don't want to do. But the big thing is it's going to have a time-based outcome. So today is June 20th, and the race is going to be on August 27th. So this gives me a little over a month and a half, we'll say. So I'm setting goals based on the time I want to run it and the body weight I want to be at, and it happens on a certain date. So that's super, super important. So that's what I want to talk about now, is how to set performance goals and how to put barriers around your life in order to achieve body weight goals and performance goals, so you can use in your own life and you can follow me in my little month and a half journey here. So, and then again, for me, because I've had these struggles, it's like I need that shake up, and I need personal accountability too. So I'm putting it out here for you to follow along. So I'll show you exactly what my plan is as far as the marathon goes. So I hate running, never do any running, but I do cardio. I do high intensity interval training all the time. So I just went for a run. I literally got back 20 minutes ago. It's the second run I've gone for. So the first run I went on was last week when I just got back from my trip, and it was super painful in my feet and in my hips. But important to note that because I do so much high intensity interval training, that my lungs weren't burning at all. So I ran 10K where I was in so much pain. My feet were killing me, but my cardio system was never, wasn't even really that stressed. I didn't stop nasal breathing the entire time, which is something I was super impressed with. So that just validates what I already know about cardio. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I get tons of my information that I share with you from the endurance athletes, like marathon runners, triathletes, and swimmers, and that kind of stuff. So I train under the guidance of most current science, and that's high intensity interval training. So, and you're probably doing that too if you follow me. So anyways, that stuff I know has been paying off. But for me now, so this is my goals here. So I don't know anything about marathon running, but I looked it up on Google, and the average time is 4 hours and 40 something minutes. So I still set my goal for a little bit better than that. So I want to run it in 4.5 hours. I don't know how achievable it is. I don't even know what it feels like to run past 10K lately. So it'll be exciting opportunity for me to find these mental barriers, because in surfing, I teach and practice things about energy conservation, oxygen conservation, where I'll never sprint in the water because I want to save air in case they have long hold downs, and I also want to surf long sessions. So it's all about conservation. It's a whole different philosophy. Whereas with this marathon, it'll be pushing myself and like emptying the tank and really giving all that you got over a sustained period. So that's a whole different thing for me. So I'm excited to prepare myself for that and also face that when the time comes. Second, and I've never set body weight goals ever. I'm always about performance. It doesn't matter what my body weights, but this is just a marker for me that it will kind of tie together everything so that I know that I'm on the right track. So I'll have a different type of body for running this race. So right now I'm 183 pounds, and that's kind of average for me, around 180. I'm a little heavier than I normally be. I'm carrying a little bit more body fat than I'm used to. So I'm aiming for 170 pounds. That'll be the lightest I've been in 10 years. So, but it's super achievable. I have a month and a half to lose 13 pounds of body fat. So that I'm confident that I'll be able to do that, but it'll just take consistency. So the next is conditioning. So conditioning the body. So I plan to do very little actual running you don't have to look far these days to find that long death march style running, like running for hours, is not the best way to prepare for marathons anymore. Doing short, high intense workouts is what really blasts the lungs. But like I said, when I was at running, my feet and my hips hurt. So those are different muscles that I have to I'll have to condition. So I'll be doing very infrequent running. I'll run a couple times a week, 10K or less, and I'll even probably be running on a track or doing hill sprints just to save my joints. So I won't be doing any hardcore distance running, just foot conditioning, and all the real cardio conditioning I'll be doing will be high intensity intervals. So I'll be doing breath held, exhaled sprints up hills. I'll be doing high intensity intervals, and I'll be sharing with you that in later videos. I'll show you exactly what that stuff's gonna look like, which is in line with everything that I teach anyways in my breath training course and my paddle strength course. The next thing is nutrition. Now this is something that I struggle with forever. My greatest weakness is food, and this is so common for people. Like, the food industry is the most unethical industry on the planet, even more than cigarettes, even more than alcohol. And if you don't agree with me, think about this. The cigarette industry has been proven to kill people, so that they now post warnings that say they give you cancer and whatever. The food industry has pretty much gone unchecked. They market cartoon characters to kids who peddle sugar to get them addicted. They have even more powerful scientists working for food companies to make sure you're addicted. You can even look it up. There are people who design chips to coat your tongue differently so that you get more of the addiction response, so you keep eating them, and they never post any warnings. I think all breakfast cereals, all that crap should have warnings that say sugar causes heart disease, obesity, cancer, all these things. It should, but they go unchecked. So to know that if you struggle with food, there is the biggest industry on earth, the food industry, spending billions of dollars against you to get you addicted, to make you struggle with food. So you have that working against you, and so do I. That's why I struggle so much as well. And the thing about with food, there's two parts why it's so hard to be consistent with food. Number one, it's everywhere. And number two, you need it to survive too. So it's really you're wired to eat, and so that's why you struggle. Or you may struggle. That's why I always struggle. So if we have all this stuff working against us, we gotta we use everything to our advantage. So the first thing is to set up physical barriers. And so for me, that just means getting all the food that I can't be eating out of the house and filling it with food that I need to be eating. So for me, I operate best on a ketogenic diet, and a lot of time for me, because it's eliminating everything that I love that's like recreation food and not good for me. And really, so it's almost like a restrict and binge. So for me, I've always felt like it was a roller coaster for me. So and especially over the last year. In the past, I've been able to stick to it really well, but for now, I have this hard date, so I want to have it every single day. So I fill myself, I spent a whole bunch of money on all the really easy to access snacks, so I put them right where I see them. As soon as I open the pantry, the only thing I see is the stuff that I can have. And so that's setting those physical barriers. And as well, personal accountability. So I'm putting it out there that I'm only going to stick to this diet, and I'm going to write it down. And so every single day that I accomplish that goal, that I stick to the diet, I put a little check mark. So that's like, I can physically see it, I actually have to do it. And so that's my own personal accountability. It's public accountability with you, and then setting those physical barriers so that I know it's easier for me to make the right decisions. And next is supplementation. So for me, the ketogenic diet might not be best for you, but I know for me, like, I come from Canada, from an Aboriginal tribe that's way up north, and so traditionally over thousands of years, my body has adjusted to eating just proteins and fats. So it's like all seafood up there. They hardly have any kind of carbs, so there's no fruit trees or that kind of thing. There's seasonal berries, but so for me, I find I perform best on that. But for supplementation, so I'm going to be taking exogenous ketones. So exogenous just means it's outside your body and you put it in. And the ketones I get from Onnit, and I've been using them. So the first run I went on it fasted when I was switching from a carb-based diet into a ketosis. So normally for a person to get into ketosis, it takes about 3 days. For me, it took 24 hours because I did a fasted run, and it was super intense, and it hurt. It was one of the most painful things I've done in a long time. So anyway, so my body got into ketosis. I've been in ketosis for 8 days now, I think. And now, so the second run I went to in full ketosis with the supplementation, I took the exogenous ketones. The first run was painful. This one was so easy. I didn't even get the pains in my muscles. I didn't get the pains in my feet as much. And again, my cardio, the nasal breathing was just like no problem. And then as well, I'm going to be taking cordyceps mushrooms. If you've been following me, you've heard me talk about this before. And I'll make another video more in detail about how I take this stuff. And the cordyceps mushrooms are more about oxygen delivery. It's about vasodilation, so your body uses more oxygen. And this is all proven by studies and everything too. So this is me. This is my plan for the next month and a half in order to keep myself accountable to you and to myself. And also, I need to shake things up. I really need to rock myself. I need to do something I'm uncomfortable with in order just to get myself back in a healthy place, because I do this stuff because I want to help you, and I feel like we're all in this together because we all have the same struggles. We all have the same things that we want. We want to be happy, healthy, strong, all that stuff. And so I invite you to follow me along in this stuff. And you don't have to sign up for a marathon, but do something measurable. Do something that shakes it up. So if that's running, or you can just do another good thing to track performance is breath hold time. If people in my breath hold course understand the different ways to track that. And I can talk about that in later videos, or you can just send me a message. We could have a conversation about that as well too. So I invite you to do all this stuff too. So set a time-based goal. Set something that you can measure as far as the results. Set a body weight goal, even though I don't recommend that because that's not the best way to measure health. But just for me, it's just something I'm going to try that's different. And then put barriers around your life to make sure you can accomplish these goals. So that's how I have it set it up. That's how I'm going to do it. I have the accountability for myself, accountability from you, and then time-based outcome goals. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helps you to put barriers in your life, to set goals in your life and help you achieve them too, so you can be happier and healthier and stronger. Thanks a lot.